The dawn of civilization. Primitive. Dangerous. Exciting. The handwriting is on the wall. If the human race is ever going to amount to anything, it needs
the most civilized caveman I have ever seen.
Look who's come out of his cave.
Hey everyone, this is James from the Cave Dweller Music Podcast. I am here with my co-host Brendan. Tonight we are joined by a group all the way from Eugene, Oregon, a little town I used to live in for a while back. You may have heard of them, you may not have, and if you haven't, I'm sorry, but they are Gamma Knife. Introduce yourself with them, get used to their music. It's fantastic. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Appreciate you taking the time, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thank you.
So just before we dive into everything, do you want to just tell people a little bit about the band's history, and what you guys each do in the band?
Yeah, so, we initially got together through a mutual friend in an old band called Scenarius. And a group of us were together playing, and, there was a falling out with the front man, and his health was dropping down, so we split that band up. Me, Taylor, the bass player, and our old guitar player who's not with us anymore decided, let's keep pushing, start something new. So I got a hold of Keegan sitting over here. I've known him since he was 16, and he's just a fucking wailer on the guitar. Never played metal really before, but I knew he could do it. So called him. He was down. We had some auditions to get a vocalist in. We ended up hiring Truck over here. He was the first one to show up, and he was the best one to show up.
Shout out to Robin.
Yeah.
From Red
Avivas and Flatulent Sermon, because that's my boy. And he...
Two great local bands from you.
Yeah, they're fucking awesome too.
He connected us with Truck, said he knew a vocalist, and we got together, did a little rehearsal, and it was kind of magic from there. So we had like 2 songs already put together, in the first couple weeks jamming.
The first one being our first single, actually.
The first single that dropped was the first thing we ever put together.
And that was February of last year?
Yeah.
Right? About?
Yes. It's our first practice, really.
So about a year and a half.
Yeah.
So really, kind of similar as most local bands around here. The hardest part was crafting a name. The songs were kind of coming out, trying to figure out a name for us. We decided Gamma Knife because I had gone through brain radiation. Our former guitarist dad was going through brain radiation. So just kind of popped up.
Well, actually, can I make a note on that? We got the name idea from your dad just had Gamma Knife surgery, Truck's dad.
Yeah.
And then, Kale knew all about it because he almost had Gamma Knife surgery, but they ended up just removing the tumor.
I had SRS or radiation, which is almost
Kale is a freaking cancer survivor.
I feel 4
times.
Awesome. Yeah,
that's amazing.
But
we'll see.
Still survived.
Literally, like 2 days after we
decided Jason
on Gamma Knife. Right, good callback.
New single.
But literally 2 days after we decided on Gamma Knife, Marcus's dad, the old rhythm guitar player we had Gamma Knife surgery, like surprise Gamma Knife surgery. Like, you're going to have the surgery right now. And you have no idea. So there was kind of a weird coincidence there.
It's like radiation just falling into our laps.
Yeah.
So.
And we could all agree on it, which was...
Yeah, it was literally the first name that nobody hated.
Yeah, really, that was the main thing.
He was just like all okay with it.
Because we'd have some... It was just funny coming up with that name because everybody would... There might just be one person, but they'd be like something, 3 of us like, yeah, that's cool. And then one person's like, that is the worst thing I've ever heard,
Yeah, so we got that put together. Then we just started, that's when we released that little demo because we wanted to start playing live shows around. So we did the little demo that we just put up a couple microphones in our practice room and jammed straight through it. Then over the last year plus, we've just been doing lots of live shows around, Eugene, Springfield, Salem. We've got one in Portland coming up soon. And in the meantime, just trying to write stuff, record what we can, you said, we got this single coming out soon. It's all recorded and mastered. We're waiting for 9/11 to release it.
Yeah, we have. I mean, and we have like an album's worth of stuff. We're trying to record everything right and release. We're going to keep the releases pretty steady and everything like that. But yeah, that's should be the goal, is to have a bunch of new stuff out within the next few months.
Nice.
How active is the scene in Oregon for people who don't know much about it?
Metal's kind of on the rise. There's been a good trend of metal bands really coming up. It's still a smaller town, so like it is hard to really fill those spaces and get a lot of people in the room. But you have venues in Eugene right now, like the Big Dirty, and John Henry's, of course, being the biggest staple. They're really like they're starting to cater more to metal, and it is more of a metal scene than anything else, really, which is interesting to see, because it's been like had a strong punk scene for a long time, and then, like, it was dead for a while, and then metal seems to be the up and coming thing.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Awesome.
there's actual venues now basically dedicated to metal.
Right.
Like John Henry's, and even places that hadn't had a lot of metal, or like we're having
Sam Bonds, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sam Bonds
Sam
has really
Bonds.
kind of changed their direction.
and like we're having Gamma Aid at
Blair
Blair Alley, and they don't really have a lot of metal either. And we're having a whole festival day of metal, there. So yeah, man, there is definitely a scene here. There's a lot of metal bands. There are a lot of really good ones. And
It's like an STD, and we're trying to spread it.
yeah,
Anyway.
yeah, it's a little
That's awesome.
sleeper, man. Like people just don't know about it, because Oregon, it's not a very populated place really. And then you've got just the big cities. You got Portland, Salem, and Eugene, and Bend, I guess, maybe Medford. There's just not a whole lot of.
And Bend is growing in the
But
metal
they're
scene.
it's all growing.
Shout
though,
out to Grave Witch, one of the best metal bands out of Bend.
In
Grave
Bend,
Witch is
they're rad.
Yeah.
Yeah, in area, there's probably a dozen metal bands right now, at least, that are playing shows. So a lot of it's kind of, you don't want to have the same three bands playing every night. So you got to mix around and be like, we haven't played with New World Center in 2 months. Let's play with them. We haven't,
Yeah.
So we're like,
It's funny you mentioned Grave Witch. They were actually one of the first few bands we covered on the site when we were starting out back in 2010.
Yeah. That's awesome. Those guys are great.
No, I
man.
love those guys.
Yeah. Really cool.
Yeah.
Brendan, have I ever sent you that? Did you see that one? Album was called The Summoning.
Maybe. I feel like
I'll kick it through to you later. You'll dig it.
pretty sure.
And I know not Portland specifically, but Oregon is becoming like a massive hub for like a whole new wave of black metal in the US, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, there is Peste on Barum. They're out of Portland, and some of those guys are from Eugene too, and they're awesome, and they're straight, black metal. And there's a few other bands. I think was it Dark?
Mizmor. Mizmor's
Mizmor is freaking awesome, man. They played at this little place. I don't know if it's here when you lived here, Old Nick's. But another place, they used to have a lot of metal. They don't anymore too much. But they did, and Mizmor was one of the last bands I saw play there. And man, dude, it was awesome. Mizmor kicks ass.
He's actually been on our show.
Yeah.
Dude, that's great.
Yeah, a little while back.
Oh, those guys, man, he's awesome, man. That's some good shit.
Yeah. What's that? Isn't Wolves in the Throne Room from Oregon as well?
We're from Portland. Yeah.
Yeah. So see, there's a ton. It's just floating right now.
It is, man.
It's awesome.
And then there's a lot of bands that are just not really black metal, like Vitriol, and they're playing with Goat Horror on tour right now. They're from Portland. They're freaking awesome.
And Redivivus too. Their guitar player was the one who introduced us to Truck. They're a black metal band here.
And Eugene, man, and they're legit, man. They're fucking awesome. Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah,
I think I remember Vitriol. They're like a death metal band, right?
Yeah, it's like thrashy death metal. It's heavy, man.
Oh shit! They did that album. I think it's like Suffer and Become that came out earlier this year.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Last one was called. But they were awesome. I saw them damn, who did I see them open up for?
Red Fang is
Queen
from.
of the Dead, I think, or Cindy Lauper one.
Red-
They opened up, and they killed it. But then, but Cindy come out and crushed it. What you gonna do though? That's
She's hot.
you come out with that Goonie shit, you ain't gonna follow that, dog. I'm just telling you.
Came out with the hoodie, riding a bicycle.
Yeah, I was like, dude, the fucking Fratellis are in the good.
So, what are some of your favorite spots in Eugene, venue-wise?
Oh, definitely, John Henry, Sam Bonds.
Sam Bonds, man.
Big
That's
Dirty.
my spot. I
Big
love
Dirty's,
Sam Bonds.
Big Dirty's a really cool place.
Yeah,
We
Big
love the
Dirty's
sound guy
cool.
there, Bill. Bill's great.
Yeah, the Big Dirty's got one of the best sound engineers and
A beautiful stage, beautiful
great equipment.
Another place that doesn't just cater to metal. I mean, they don't have a whole lot of metal.
Right.
Well, they do. They have some good shit, but they have. I mean,
They have quality.
they're very
quality
eclectic
shows.
with their. Yeah, and it's all really good. Like we went and saw your friend who did like some
Yeah, jazz.
jazz kind of fusion, whatever stuff.
Oh, we
Jazz
went-
adjacent.
Jazz adjacent.
And then we saw Cool Keith there too.
Yeah, we saw
Cool
Cool
Keith
Keith
played
there,
there.
man.
Nice.
It's been a ton of fun, man.
So
Yeah.
that's some good stuff.
Sam Bonds is really fun too, just because all the people that work there are great. And it's a
Yeah, they treat
smaller
their bands
venue,
really good
but
there. But you can pack Sam Bonds out, man. And it seems like the clientele that come to Sam Bonds are ready to get down. And it's usually not like a bunch of metalheads. That's what's the best thing about it. And that is also honestly like the people that I like bringing in more. People don't even listen to metal, and they come in and they're like, "What in the hell is going on here?" And And Sam Bonds are one of those places. It seems we get a lot of that. Like people are just there drinking and stuff, and then there's this next
old
thing
lady
you know,
on crutches doing high kicks when we
Yeah.
start playing,
oh, it's, you know what I
punching
mean?
in.
And the stage is tiny. I mean, it's really it's funny, because it's not it's not like you have a huge stage in that, but it's just funny the energy we always get in that place. It's
Just imagine a stage that's too small. It's half the size of that.
Yeah. It's a shoebox.
But what's also great is they're not shady about payouts.
no,
yeah.
no, they're good people over there.
Yeah, people in Eugene typically take care of you.
Yeah, yeah, we've not the only places that have it are shut down now.
Yeah, right. The quality places around here, you're typically well taken care of. Especially the touring artists, we see a lot come through with us that they're really always blown away by the hospitality of Eugene. Just what the venues are doing, the other bands are generous with. It's just a very healthy scene where everybody just wants to see everybody succeed.
Hell yeah. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, oh, that's awesome.
Very simple.
It's funny you mentioned that tiny stage thing. We have one of those bars in San Diego as well called Till 2 Club. It's like the smallest stage that 5 humans can fit on, I guess. It's so small. And it's audience level height. It's not even raised. So it's the only place that they're right in your face. It's it's at the back of a bar. So basically they just had a bar and shoved it in that space. And but I've seen death metal bands and stuff play there, and it's so loud in such a small space. It's awesome.
It is, man. I love it.
Brendan, I've been talking a bunch. Why don't you ask some questions?
That's all good. No. Well, I was gonna say, with you've been talking about a lot of places to visit and whatnot, but what's your favorite place to play live?
That's
Sam Bonds.
Sam Bonds.
Great
Again,
response.
that's a fun place.
Favorite place,
Room.
Infinity. I was about to say Infinity Room in Salem. It's just that's been my favorite place just because the stage and the sound is amazing there, and they treat you good. It's also a small place that packs out easy. Salem's a cool town. That's and they they got a great
stage
their stage,
setup.
man. They have these lights behind it, and we need to if we don't have them, we need to put them up. We have video of us playing there, and it's the lights that just the house has. It's a whole thing, and it's just cool, man.
They put a lot of time and work into the stage present or the stage setup they have there, and it looks really
Okay.
cool. But they also do a lot of outreach programs for the community, and they do Music Day where they're a big part of that, and they volunteer a lot of their time, and they're really supportive of the LGBT community and a lot of things in Salem. They're really awesome. It's just a really great venue and a really great space that does good things for awesome bands. So shout out
Yeah.
to Kennedy
Exclusive.
Rivers.
Yeah, especially Chris that does sound
Oh,
and
yeah.
runs
Phenomenal
lights.
sound.
Just
Yeah.
Super
top
nice guy.
tier professional
Yeah.
sound.
It is. It's like
Phenomenal
it's
guy.
top level shit.
I mean,
If
the
but
sound.
they only do vegan food.
Yeah,
So
they-
It
only
is a-
thing-
yeah,
it
vegan.
if they
is
would
a
just
vegan-
serve a real hamburger there.
But
Yeah.
it is for what it is. It's very good.
It is good, and they do like they feed you. Like that's the whole thing. It's like they give you credits and stuff like that. They'll feed you, but that's the catch. I sat down and I was like, man, what is? It was all vegan. I'm like,
Some people
okay.
like
I
that.
said, that's cool. Still try it. It's still delicious, but yeah, it's not necessarily my diet.
Shots of wheat.
Like, eat this. It's called Satan.
Yeah,
Why'd eat that?
See, it's metal.
like why? Yeah,
Either that or it's like a portobello mushroom or something. That's it. Yeah, if you like-
a burger or something. Like I'm like, just call it something different.
right.
Brain wants to think it's still what you're saying it is, and I just had a burger like earlier, so I know this is
Right.
But then,
It's so weird. Oh man.
the backdrop of their stage, it looks like it's lined with like flat screen TVs with a bunch of little laser lights pointing through them.
yeah,
And,
it's crazy.
It's something to look at and trip out on when you're there.
It is.
Oh yeah.
It's one of those venues they do comedy and music and everything. But
Oh, that's sweet. Well, it's nice to have that variety of things, So it's not just like only one kind of scene hanging out there,
it's scene adjacent.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot of different scenes. For sure.
that's cool. That's definitely cool. Yeah, it's nice too. Like what you were mentioning about having a sound guy, because like doing their job, doing it right. Like we saw a band like a couple years ago. James and I was like atheists, and it was like, wow, this is weird. And then we saw him again, and like it just sounded like a totally different band. It was like, holy shit.
Yeah. I think for them, like, because I've seen them 3 times now, they don't do well in like an open air venue setting, like a field, like festival type setting. But if you see them at like a normal size, like metal bar or like a smaller stage, they sound incredible.
Hell yeah!
It's unbelievable what sound can do.
And again,
Yeah.
a good sound guy or a bad sound guy can totally like.
Yeah.
Can make a decent band sound great or terrible.
Yeah.
Or there was this other band too that we saw that was like, it didn't have like the bass in it or something, or like the guitars were too low. And, like,
Yeah, that was this year. Their bass wasn't working.
yeah.
Oh man.
And then you're like, what is going on? And then it got fixed, and you're like, all right.
Oh,
there
that's different. Like, like hit you
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
wall.
Well, that would
It
set
sucks as well when venues have like volume limits. Like I saw the Melvins and Boris play in San Diego here, and everyone was like, okay, they're really loud. Prepare for how loud they are. The sound's massive, and it's like a downtown venue, so they kept it turned like way down, and it was such a disappointing experience.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, those bands in particular like thrive off of being loud.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's part of the experience, like seeing Sun O or something with no reverb on. Like, it's,
Yeah.
I'm going to take a quick sidestep here, but James, right? Are you from Australia?
I lived there for about 10 years. I'm originally South African, and then grew up in New Zealand, and then did 10 years in Australia, and now I'm here.
I was hearing that accent, and it made me want to quiz you and make you say no.
No, good job picking that up. People struggle with it. I get English the most from anyone. Like even in the UK, some people ask me like where I lived.
It's funny because I thought maybe South Africa, but it's I'm the drummer, so I'm fucking deaf. So
Good job picking that up though. Nah, awesome.
can you say no one time?
Oh, it's not actually no. It's no.
I'm just saying. I just saw a video earlier today on Facebook of some guy was trying to teach an Australian girl to say no.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing going around right now. Before it was like Australia doesn't actually exist was the whole thing, and now they do exist, but they sound funny.
Well, we all wish we had an accent like that.
It's
Yeah.
funny that I lived in Eugene, like I said, and I was doing like over the phone stuff for a bank there. It's like Northwest Community Credit Union, I think they're called. And everyone
That's
would be
who
like,
does
"Are they outsourcing to?"
My
What's
mortgage.
that? Sorry.
I think that's who has the mortgage in my house. Is Northwest.
Oh,
That's
they're a
actually
really nice bank.
Yeah.
Really like cool credit union. Help people out with good like interest and stuff. From what I saw when I was there. But people used to be like, "Are we outsourcing to Australia? Isn't that expensive? Like, shouldn't we use the Philippines?"
we've all seen that Simpsons episode. We know how prices get for those problems.
And then I'd always say like, "No, I live in Eugene," and honestly, like a bunch of times people said, "Why?"
What's the response there?
What?
Fair question.
Well, he's not there anymore.
Now you're in San Diego, which, if I'm correct, is French for a whale's vagina.
That is correct. That is correct. It's a great reference, and a bunch of comedians I've seen come here open with that, which is awesome.
I bet.
Well, yeah. Go back up to Salem and
Kill that shit.
I wanted to ask, like, is that Sizzle Pie chain still going? Because that place was sick.
oh no,
They got turned into Slice.
Oh, is it still like metal and punk themed or no?
Sorry, no. Sizzle Pie's location closed in Eugene, but they still have one in Portland
Oh, okay.
Brewery.
But
which
Eugene
that's their
hates
original
them now.
spot.
Yeah, it's like you can't speak their
Yeah.
name here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They burn
Yeah.
some bridges.
Did they? What?
there was
Oh man,
we got to their Facebook posts. Apparently,
Wow.
they closed down and didn't. pay
No,
their employees.
yeah, it was like some shady shit. Like
Oh,
they didn't
I
want to
guess
like
so.
pay their
Like
workers.
people showed up to work and they're like, "Wait, what happened?"
It's closed. Where's my?
They
last
did just
check?
shut it down.
And
Like
they
all
just
of a
gave them
sudden.
large pizzas, and we're like,
Yeah.
all right.
Like,
Put
what?
a pizza on it. It's all good.
and then you would have found it cool though. They have a lot of their merch is like metal themed. It's like play puns based on like famous death metal albums and like doom metal albums and stuff. And that's
Nice.
the aesthetic. And they have like a jukebox that plays metal and punk like in the restaurant and stuff. So it was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
When you were living here, is probably when my buddy Andy was the manager there, and he was a big metalhead. He got me hired there.
Oh yeah.
And so, like, yeah, we just play our favorite Melvin's records while I washed dishes and got high.
That's awesome. yeah,
I can say that.
that place is
I've been placing.
Go ahead. Just say whatever you want.
yeah.
Here's your washing dishes.
No meth in the dish bed.
Sorry, we're just sitting over. Smoking.
Sorry, Brendan, I interrupted your questions again. I'll let you get back to asking those.
It's all good. It's all good. I was going to ask when we were talking about all the funny little mishaps and whatnot. Have you guys had any kind of crazy nightmare happen to you, or like, oh, fuck, we just got to figure this out, or
Oh yeah, Kale broke his foot. Like this was real recently. Our last was it our last fucking show?
It was.
Yeah, our last show. Kale broke his foot. Well, didn't break it, but he thought it was broke. He couldn't play regardless.
Kale's our drummer.
and he's our he's our drummer. And so this was like
It's the right foot. So.
Yeah, and this was the
the
like
good one?
before our show or 2 days before. Like we were at practice, and he was trying. It just got worse and worse, and so we played like a very short set with a guest drummer who just like learned the songs he could that afternoon. So it went as well as it could. You know, we're all about the show must go on. God damn it. You know.
Yeah.
From my perspective, it was fucking awful.
I mean, it was not Gamma Knife, but we just had to like do something. You know what I mean? And it basically was a jam. It was a 5-song
Well, yeah.
jam.
Yeah, we got to pay our
really.
bills, so you got to play
And-
shows.
Yeah, he played one
Right.
okay, and then the other two were like kind of just a mess. And then we played 2 covers. And then that was just 5 songs, and we got in and out. And like everybody kind of knew the situation.
Oh yeah,
We had a drummer who was a great drummer, but like we trained him last minute.
yeah.
Like
His style's totally different.
Dude,
from
bless
Kale's,
his
too.
soul.
But
He
he
learned
killed
these
it.
songs
Gary
like
did a great
He
job.
killed it as best, you know,
but it was just
Did the best,
it was
you
just
know.
Yeah, it wasn't the sound that you were going for. I hear that. You know,
Like we were just happy, we were happy that we didn't have to, not play.
Cancel.
But that was definitely the I guess the biggest nightmare we've had lately.
I felt pretty bad about that, but
well, we still
But
pulled it off.
kung fu comes first.
Yeah,
The drum,
Yeah.
the
he
mosh
kicked a
pit was
punching
still
bag.
entertaining.
That's how he broke it. And, yeah, punching bags are known for how hard they are.
So now I bought a kicking bag instead. Seems to work better.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
You
it
need
makes
to walk back if you're gonna keep doing that.
There's something I saw in an interview with the lead singer of Dillinger Escape Plan, Greg, whatever, where he was just,
Yeah.
it's like no matter what, like you gotta make the show happen. If you agreed to play this show, like don't pull it out last minute. Like your van breaks down, rent a van, like figure it out, get to the show, play the venue, and that's what we did. I mean, it wasn't the greatest performance, but we still pulled it off.
It was still a performance.
And yeah, it was a little bit of a mess, but the covers at the very end of the set kind of pulled it all together. And we started strong and finished strong. The middle was a mess, but we got through it. Some
Shout
technical
out
difficulties.
and shout out to New World Center who absolutely killed it before us. So the
Oh,
crowd
that was-
was already like, man, it was
To
great.
follow up a great band.
Yeah, yeah. So that was good. Like, because we came out, we opened with Baptized Liar, which has that sermon intro. So
Oh, nice.
So I come out and do the sermon part, and people were ready to mosh already just doing that part. I was like, okay, well, I think it's going to be okay. And then by the time we played Baptized Liar and then whatever versions of the songs we played after that, people didn't give a shit. They were already – this was like we were the third band to play, and it was Saturday night. So people had already been drinking, already riled up. So we just had to kind of keep them there. They didn't really care at that point.
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there was that was like our first or one of our first shows right at Old Nick's where they were doing burlesque shows in between the bands.
Another thing they fucking love in Eugene is burlesque every night of the goddamn week. It don't
But not
matter.
just burlesque stuff, that like beautiful BBW
Yeah.
burlesque, that like reinforced stage burlesque. So
No, it's like, hey, you watch one video
I
on
was
YouTube, it's and I would just say this, but like that night on that show, those women were not very nice, and they just kind of had an attitude too, and
they
we
were
got
swinging
pushed to
the
the
heat
back of the
around.
anyway.
But
well, they were
fast forward to us getting on stage at like 1:00.
1:30.
1:30.
1:30.
What, and it was it a weekend? Was it a Friday or
Because
Saturday?
those girls were
Saturday,
owning the
yeah.
stage. They did not want to pass up their time. So
Yeah, like they did
Yeah.
they did like a band and then a burlesque show, then another band, then burlesque, then another band, and we were that last band, and it was just like
Yeah.
I could not believe they did it like that. Like it just was because we got there, at freaking 6:00, whatever load in is,
Yeah.
and then it was 1:30, and then we got to go. Oh my god!
And it's super hard to hit the snare clearly when you're pitching a tent. So
Yeah,
lower the seat, get to play, and then get out of there.
Yeah. That was,
Other than that,
that was
things
a
have been
very
pretty
first
smooth.
show, but that was pretty brutal. Yeah. Yeah, those have been all the technical difficulties I guess we've ran into.
majorly.
Oh man.
Y'all heard that.
What like who got you into playing music? Like who was like the first person to like get you to pick up and like whatever it was that you were doing, like whether it be the drums, the guitar, or sing, like how'd that all start?
You want to start that? You've been playing longer than everybody, probably.
Oh, geez.
You
I
started
was,
youngest.
yeah, I
He
don't
is
know,
the youngest.
10 or 11 years old, probably. I think I had
That's like 5 years ago.
yeah, right. I don't know. I think if I remember right, had a big old Nirvana obsession. And I think that kind of pushed me into it, was inspired. Just got so sucked into it, learned every song with the tab books, wanted to be Kurt Cobain, posters and all that. Then from there, I don't know, just picked it up, and it's something that I can't ever put down. It's required, Then, I think what happened is at the community college, and old school story for how I met our drummer Kale. I ripped out a piece of notebook paper, scribbled down my phone number, said some favorite bands. There's probably some Zeppelin, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, kind of grungy stuff. Tool for sure, Deftones. Threw my number on there. Some guy hit me up in like 10, 15 minutes. He's like, "Hey, dude, I'm just down the hall. You still in the building?" That was Ryan. Ryan. So our buddy Ryan introduced me to Kale. Then we went out to Ryan's place and just had a jam. I think we played some Nirvana covers and fell in love. And then I think I was about 15 at the time.
But immediately I was like, this kid can fucking play, and I'm going to stash him away from everybody else.
No, it was a blast, dude. That first jam was so much fucking fun, man. So much fun. Then Kale and I have been in touch ever since. That's pretty much my I don't know if you want to call it origin story, but
Jam, some Nirvana type stuff, some Pink Floyd stuff, some whatever. Definitely stony stuff.
Psychedelic, proggy.
Yeah. And that was right about the same time I had just started actually playing the drums then. When I was in middle school, I bought a drum set from my best friend's older brother for $50 and had it for like 2 days and was learning how to play Kashmir with a friend of mine who played the guitar. And then his mom came kicking in my garage door and said the drum set wasn't his to sell and gave me $50 and took it back. And, my parents, they didn't want to put up with that shit. And I'd never wanted to play guitar, bass, nothing. I just wanted drums. And so I think in my early 20s, I finally had enough money to buy a drum set and bought a little electronic drum set. And then, shortly after started playing with Keegan. And then we got together with our buddy Jesse Michael, R.I.P., who started Scenarius. And that's how I met Taylor, our bass player, and Marcus Treat, our old guitar player. And that was like the very beginning of COVID. So we just sat down.
Was that the first time you played in a band with Scenarius?
No, I had played in a band before, but it was so shitty. I'm not even going to talk about it.
Right. Same.
And those guys were awful too. So, fuck you, Doug.
Doug.
He's dead now, so that's good.
Oh yeah, thank God.
Dark.
But Taylor, so what got you into singing? Truck.
Yeah. Johnny Cash and Jim Morrison, man, that was like, and to me, still to this day, it don't get no better than The Doors and Johnny Cash. Like, if that's all I had to listen to the rest of my life, that would still be fine with me. But between that and then like doing theater and like loving professional wrestling and all that kind of shit, that sort of goes into like all I'm doing, because I feel like I'm more of a performance artist and more of an actor kind of thing than a musician, really, a lot of times. And so that's kind of what I'm
good front man. Yeah, I mean, like the vocal style is great. It's like almost operatic, but not quite. And then it's like, but it gets heavy and like, get some good like energy to it. It's awesome.
That actually reminds me too. I was listening to your guys' last podcast you did, and you were talking about professional wrestling with that band because they had some posters out.
Oh, nice.
And, what do you guys? You asked if that would have been their dream, is to have their song played while a wrestler walked out. That I was just laughing my ass off because Truck was talking
that is totally
about that like a month.
That's peak. That's peak.
Yeah.
Nelson,
You made it. You've made it.
Yeah, it's like
is like, dude, who cares? They're like that's like a Grammy or being a wrestling theme song. I'm like, fuck that Grammy, dude, or whatever. that's Pete.
Hell yeah.
Follow up question: if you could, which wrestler would you want it to be that uses your song?
Oh, right now, man, like, dude, like, I love, like, the Wyatt Six, like, that would be cool, like, any of that stuff. Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, freaking CM Punk, but he's got his whole thing already, you know what I mean? Like, I'll sit here and I'd be happy with anybody. Like, if it was WWE, I'd be like, oh, dude, it's some new wrestler no one's ever heard of. Cool, let's do it, you know what I mean? Like, or the Bloodline. Oh my God, to have Roman Reigns like doing his. Oh man, dude, we can sit here. I can talk about that shit every podcast. Wrestling, dude, I love it. Yeah,
I got a bunch of buddies that are super into it. One of the other hosts of our podcast is into wrestling as well, but he does the Australian stuff.
Oh, that's
Fucking
awesome.
dog
I actually I went to WrestleMania for my honeymoon. Me and my wife went to WrestleMania in Dallas in 2016.
So fucking romantic.
And it was, and then we're going back. Actually, Raw's coming to Portland this month or next month, and me and my wife have front row tickets, so it's pretty cool. Which I'm from like North Carolina, and it comes there all the time. And I thought when I lived out here, like it comes, but it's not as frequent. It's like about once a year you get Raw or SmackDown, where you can go to it. Whereas I was checking. Like, I just went to North Carolina, and they had, like, 2 SmackDowns coming, like, in the same month, and stuff.
It's wrestling country.
Oh, yeah.
That's sick.
Like, I'm from, like, where they filmed Ricky Bobby. Like, that's the area of North Carolina. It's 30 minutes from my house, like, or my parents' place where I grew up is, like, the NASCAR track and all that stuff where they filmed.
I actually rewatched that movie for the first time in a couple of years while getting a tattoo done at the parlor that had it on the TV. So
Nice.
Great movie. I've forgotten how funny it is.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I watch that movie like once a week.
It represents my people accurately.
For me, my like borderline autistic obsession is with a show called I Think You Should Leave on Netflix. Have you guys seen that?
No. What?
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I feel
I
like
love that show, dude. That show is so funny.
I think that show is like 70% the funniest shit you've ever seen, and then like 5% like some of the funniest shit you've ever seen, and then that's like 10-20% is like maybe I don't know, just like what did I just watch?
Well, it does.
Yeah.
It takes jokes like so far that it's not
Yeah.
anymore, and then it just keeps going until it's funny again.
Yeah,
Exactly. It pushes through discomfort to become funny again.
yeah, and you're just like, oh.
So it's like
Yeah.
I caught the live show that he did when he was touring, and he brought like a bunch of the cast with him and showed like a ton of unreleased footage from other clips. And then they kind of just gave the microphone to some guy from the audience and just gave him free reign.
That stuff's so funny.
And he was like, he done like one stand-up
that was
comedy
pretty good.
class. That's it.
Put that on the damn thing. So.
I guess we just want to figure out if we were going to come and visit you. Where are we going to go out to eat for foods? Any good recommendations, restaurants in your area you guys love?
Well, if you're visiting, you want to come to Taylor's house, and he'll barbecue you some good chicken.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, we'll barbecue for sure. But no, I mean, I think one of the main food places that kind of feeds this band is Gotcha Burger because it's
That is-
right next to the space, and we all just love it and get it all the time.
Absolutely. Gotcha Burger is the
Gotcha
best burger you'll get
So, yeah.
in Eugene. And it's amazing, man. Like, and I ain't picky because I'm from the South and everything, but that is one of those places.
It
like,
gives you credit.
yeah, our food's way, dude. The food from North Carolina, y'all can't even touch it. The fast food there,
All right.
Bojangles, man.
Shots
it's
fired.
better than
My buddy, he's from North Carolina, and he's always talking about Bojangles. He's just like,
Dude.
man, I got some Bojangle biscuits,
Take
this
it-
and that, biscuits and gravy.
You take
I'm
it
like-
when I lived there, but I just went back and I hadn't been in like 2 years, and like it is ridiculous. Like there's a lot of stuff that, I'm glad I live out here for. There's not any dispensaries in North Carolina. Well, there is now, like the Cherokees have opened up the first one, but like the food, man, just like and it's like just like stuff like that. That's the fast food, like Biscuitville and Bojangles and Cookout and stuff. It's just like, man, they just like there is some good food here, but it's like that just I don't know, just like the
like that,
like and just like
all right, but locally, Gotcha Burger.
Gotcha.
That being said, Gotcha Burger is one of the best burgers. I still like. I didn't like that is one of the best burgers I've ever had, man. And I just had it last night, actually.
Dude, I fucking had Gotcha Burger for lunch.
Dude,
straight up.
hell yeah, bro.
I roll up, they're like, yo,
good shit.
Keegan, 2 deuce bacons. I'm like, hey, man,
Yes.
they know.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Gotcha Burger, yeah.
Nice.
And like Sweet Life, like if you like a good bakery, Sweet Life is the best. Like
it's a few blocks away.
And it's a few blocks from there, right behind Fisherman's Market, which is actually really good too. Like if you want some seafood and stuff.
I was just gonna say Fisherman's Market if you want some seafood.
Yeah, but like but Sweet Life, something I also had just the other day.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Good stuff.
Nice. And then what about breweries? Like good breweries, craft beers around there?
Hop Valley's great. Nikasi is famous from Eugene. Nikasi really developed a lot of the Whitaker area. Some people find that controversial, like, oh, we want to keep the wit, but it was also like, this is where everybody gets heroin. So, but yeah, so they kind of took it over, and it's actually a pretty popular place down there now. Nikasi.
Nice.
Cold
Nikasi's
Fire
great,
is a
Hot
newer
Valley,
one too that opened up in the last few years. That's been doing
Falling
good.
Sky.
Mhm.
Falling Sky is good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Beers are in hefty
there's a
supply.
lot.
around
There's
here.
a lot.
Everybody got their micro brews.
And to add to that, which is because I don't drink, but I'm a big smoker. I'm a medical smoker. But
Yeah.
and I'll tell you some good dispensaries, man. Are the best is like TJ's, People's Wellness, like Herbal Connection, man. But TJ's like on Willamette is like top notch, man. They have the great prices, and you can get if you want the best flour as far as like top shelf stuff, like and everything like there.
Awesome.
People's Wellness is awesome. They always that's like kills there.
Yeah,
every
that's
day.
my spot. They got the friendliest
Shout
people
out to
there.
dispensaries.
Yeah, their manager is always fucking cool, hooks people up with deals, comes out to our shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Definitely.
Yeah,
sweet.
got some fans that come along and bring bags full of weed.
Yeah, I can't think of his dispensary. But
That's awesome. When we were at the Maryland Death Festival, we went to a dispensary, and then I can't remember the name of it. We went to Cookies, but we went to another one after that. And at this one, this guy was like, "Oh, you guys are visiting this and that. You guys are my people," because we had like a metal shirt on or something like that. And then we saw him later, and he actually works at like the sound stage or whatever, and was like, he was like weed dispensary guy by day, and then like bouncer at the sound stage at night, and it was just like, it was pretty cool. So it was really funny to see. He's like, "Oh, what's up, guys?" And I was just like, "Oh shit."
That's great. You said Cookies. There's a Cookies in Eugene. And
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's the same one. There's one in California.
they're all over the place, but that's
I
crazy.
was just thinking that'd be rough to be at the dispensary all day and then go bounce afterwards, because the last thing you want to
Oh
do
my
when
God.
you're baked is get in a fight.
Right? It's like, hey man, stop.
It's just like, hey, everybody
Yeah.
sit down.
man.
Let's try this. Yeah. Oh man. So I got our fun final kind of questions we go for here. If you guys were stuck on a desert island and you had a solar powered CD player and you could bring 3 albums, what would they be? That's it. Until you got rescued. That was it.
Yeah.
This side is 3 collective.
You need to answer.
3 collectively out of 4 of us.
Yeah, but no, I mean, like, usually, like, you can each answer if you'd like, because, like, some people have a different opinion,
Another 3 hours.
I mean, I would go with Asia by Steely Dan.
Yeah.
I would go with Chicago's first album, Chicago Transit Authority. And then, I'd have to. Could I do like a greatest hits in there? That's terrible. That's
No,
cheesy.
that's
No, I can't do that.
I always like the Crow soundtrack, and that's got like a bunch of
Oh
Yes.
man, that's a great.
God.
Yeah.
It's a-
What do you think about the new movie they got coming out?
I don't know. It's like one of those things, like you know how like the internet hated Sonic and they redid it,
Yeah,
and like we hate the Crow and they can redo it.
like, but like it's like one of those things. It's almost it's like repainting a perfect work of art to me. Almost, you know what I mean? Like The Crow is just a perfect
Yeah,
movie experience. Everything it is and was, and just the real life shit that happened behind it. It's just.
yeah,
I don't-
man.
But I'm old, so that's like I grew up on that shit. I saw it in the theater.
Yeah,
Got a
well,
cash
you
out
still
for
got to
that?
let me
You got a
pick my
cash
third
album?
one. All right.
Yeah,
For my number 3, I'm gonna. I mean, God, I'd probably have to go with "Era Vulgaris" by Queens of the Stone Age.
hell yeah.
mine, I guess. I guess
This
Johnny
is hard.
Cash, Folsom Prison Blues, maybe one of the. Okay, I'll just say that one. Like the Doors, either the first album, The Doors, or Waiting for the Sun, maybe. And then my third one, damn man, this is hard. Let's say fucking Pantera, Vulgar Display of Power. I don't know.
Mm.
That's not bad.
Gotta have
So
something
you're
heavy
still-
in there too.
You're still thinking, Taylor. So I've got Mars to Sirius, Gojira.
All right.
Let's see here. Love me some Tool. Lateralis is was my entry. Can go with that one. All right, so I stalled for you for 2 albums, so that's what I got.
Still gotta come up with
Yeah, so
one.
you go up for a couple and stall for
Well,
me.
I was already ready, man. Like I'm really driven by soundtracks rather than music. So like, I really need like
Grease.
Dirty
Fucking
Dancing,
A.
the soundtrack for Dirty Dancing
Yeah.
for sure.
Shit.
Yeah, what's the one with Somewhere Over the Rainbow? Yeah, Alice in
Wizard of
Wonderland.
no, that's
No,
Wizard
no,
of
that
Oz,
was
man.
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz. Yeah, yeah. And then
The soundtrack for Showgirls.
yeah, no, yeah. How did you know? Yeah, all those 3. Yeah.
All right, I got it.
What do you got?
Yeah, it's controversial, but they got me into music massively. Local band Floater. I know, right?
No, man, that's a pro. I was hoping
Dude,
you was going
I
to say
also-
floater.
you know,
do
I
have a
grew
floater
up-
tattoo.
I got tattooed from Jesse, man. I grew up wanting to be Dave. Wanted to be Dave. So let's go with Glyph.
I wanted
There
to
you
be one
go.
of those showgirls.
You still can be, You're in Eugene. This is the place for it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
If you want to be a showgirl.
This time next
Well, I guess more burlesque. I
So, but
guess.
if we all had to pick one as a group, it would definitely be Steely Dan.
what?
What's your top 3? Can you rapid fire and stay on track better than we can?
Oh God, no.
'Cause I already have like a different tree I could think of. Maybe I was like, no, let me think.
Right? I always feel like, oh man, I know. I love like
Any
Yeah.
Disney movie.
Dude, for real though, like fucking Coco, that's some good shit.
yeah. I don't know, man. I always change my mind around all that time. Like, I really like I said, the Crow soundtrack. Then I would go for the Halo 2 theme. So like the whole soundtrack to that was great. And then I don't know. Today I feel like it'd be, jeez Louise. It's tough, man. I don't know. Yeah, maybe probably like some Black Sabbath.
Oh yeah.
Number 4. I love number 4.
Oh God, yeah.
It's funny. We cover Children of the Grave, and it's like that's like Barmaid. Like it was the first cover we played live and all this stuff, and it was funny. Like so, I figured that it would get just easy response from the crowd. It's Black Sabbath. Who doesn't love Sabbath? It's a metal show. And I remember we played at this place, The Spot, which I don't think is there anymore now. And I was just like, yes, this next song, I can't remember what I said. But it's just like, who's into ready to hear some Sabbath? And it was just crickets. I was like, it blew my mind. But
Those.
I thought it was our own song.
yeah, and after somebody like, damn, what was that song y'all played in? That's my favorite one of y'all's songs. I was like, well, we didn't write it.
by
Tony Iommi and Geezer wrote
That's funny.
That Crow soundtrack, though, man, that's got some good. So that
Even the fucking
Yeah.
fan-
Got some good tunes, man.
fucking that Rollins band songs. Also that Pantera
Yeah.
Badge. It's got some bangers on there, dude.
Yeah.
I remember like having to get my mom to take me up to fucking Music Expressions in Albemarle, North Carolina.
Oh man, that no, I just thought about it too. It was like Ugly Kid Joe. Remember that? That was
Yeah,
great.
fuck yeah.
You know, like
America was it America's
yeah,
that fucking Cats. They did that Cats in the Cradle cover,
that was a really good cover, man.
right? Yeah,
That's
I
a
like
great.
Will Crane. I even like that album he did with oh my god, I'm just drawing a blank. Life of Agony. He's like sang for them for like an album back in like the 90s, I think, or late 90s, early 2000s, and it was fucking good. He's a good vocalist.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and then I guess here to wrap it up, if anyone wants to follow you or see you guys or like buy your music and do all that stuff, what's the best way to do that?
Spotify. Definitely, we're on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Pandora, all the shit. On Instagram, we are Gamma Knife Band. It's the best way to follow us there.
Yeah, because otherwise you'll just get pictures of people that are
People with
bald
Gamma
with
Knife
fucked up
surgery.
heads.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah, Facebook, Gamma Knife. Find us
we
on
have
that
a
on
website.
Instagram.
Yeah, we have a website. It's just not that well put together.
We
right now.
we do everything ourselves, so it's poorly executed
Yeah.
all across the board.
Yeah. Sure. Still pay for it.
Awesome.
What is the website though?
Gamma Knife Band.
Yeah, gammaknifeband.com. .edu.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming on and enjoying good conversation, and then dealing with the technical difficulty, and then thanks everybody, and then we'll be back next week with another guest.
Cool.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, no worries. And then now I got to figure out how to kill this without killing it. So it's in the computer.
You're talking about like it's a vampire.
I know. I saw this thing about like somewhere in California, there's like a spot where there's like always like garlic growing, and then there's like, it's to keep the vampires out, and there's like, well, there hasn't been a vampire attack since like, ever, and it's like, yeah, exactly, because of the garlic. Don't fucking take it. Don't give it.
Watch for Bigfoot around here though, man. That's
Bigfoot. That's like, oh man,
Big-
I feel like we like in Hartford and Salem, Mass gets all the credit, but we were killing witches before them. Yeah, that's crazy. Like those are some wild times, Like some ladies like, "Hey kids, ha ha ha," and everyone's like, "Oh my god, boom," like what the fuck?
And she's not aware.
Yeah.
Or she is.
They're like, "Oh, eat these mushrooms," and then they're like, everyone's like, "Whoa." Yeah.
Well, I guess he wasn't a witch. Oh well.
So funny. All right, let's see here. We got people. That's me. Output volume.
So on our end, we can hit leave on our screen.
I'm pretty sure you can, and then that's going to be all good.
All right, we'll go ahead and do that. Hey, thank you again, man. Thank you.
Yeah. No worries, guys. Thank you. And then, hit us up. Like, you could join up our Facebook stuff, this and that, because like we'll post this and we'll tag you guys, and then
keep y'all posted too, man. On like
so real quick, actually, can you put what we sent you, the single?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I saw. I didn't respond to you. Sorry. On the email, but I was gonna say we've done that before at the very end of like while we're like saying goodbye, this and that, and then like they'll play like a little bit of the song or this and that. You know what I mean? Like work it in some. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So see, we could probably definitely. I think we could do the whole song. I'll say that should be fine. Then we just gotta make sure James is able to just pop it into that way. Also, like we have a big YouTube thing, so we can post it on YouTube too.
We're doing a music video for it as well.
Right. Yeah. So we haven't officially released this yet, and we want to like hold off on releasing it on any other media right now.
Gotcha.
So we'll have our own YouTube video with it and everything. So you could hold off on that and just, if you want to just release it with this podcast.
Yeah. I'll definitely, like, he's the James has a copy of it, so he does that, and then we just use that. I know I was able to play it, so I'm sure it will be easy.
Cool.
Groovy.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Be good. Hell yeah. No, definitely be good. It's definitely good shit, man. You guys, like, it's like even like that first like and the like it rocks, man. It really does. You guys have a good fucking sound, so I'm excited for more.
We're gonna keep going with it. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
We appreciate it, Brendan. Thank you, man.
Yeah, brother. Cheers, guys.
Later.
That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of blackness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against their high towers. I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, for they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their entrails as the dung. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to save them on the day of the Lord's wrath. But the whole earth shall be devoured by the fires of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all those that dwell in the land. You will be made